Have you ever looked at a sweet potato and thought, there's no way something this sweet could be good for my blood sugar? You're not alone. Sweet potatoes are starchy, naturally sweet, and packed with carbs, which for anyone managing type 2 diabetes can raise concern. But here's the surprising truth. When eaten the right way, sweet potatoes may actually help stabilize blood sugar, especially for older adults. Yes, really. They're rich in nutrients that support your heart, your digestion, and even your insulin sensitivity, but only if you understand how to prepare them, when to eat them, and what to pair them with. In this video, we're taking a closer look at the connection between sweet potatoes and diabetes, and why this familiar comfort food might deserve a second chance on your plate. Because most people think all carbs are bad for blood sugar, especially after 60. And while it's true that starches can impact your glucose, not all carbs are created equal. Sweet potatoes, especially purple and white varieties, might just surprise you. Here's what you'll learn in the next few minutes. 5 science-backed benefits of sweet potatoes for seniors with diabetes. How to enjoy them without causing sugar spikes. The best food pairings to protect your blood sugar, when sweet potatoes might not be the best choice. And one overlooked kitchen trick that can lower their glycemic effect even more. Because eating well in your golden years doesn't have to be restrictive or stressful. With the right knowledge, it can feel empowering. And before we begin, let me ask, do you eat sweet potatoes regularly, or have you been avoiding them since your diagnosis? Share your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. If this kind of practical health content helps you, tap the like button and subscribe. It really supports the channel and helps more seniors discover food confidence without fear. Now, let's dive into the first benefit: why sweet potatoes might be more blood sugar friendly than you think. Benefit 1. Supports blood sugar stability. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns for anyone managing type 2 diabetes: blood sugar spikes. The food you eat plays a major role in how your blood sugar rises and falls throughout the day. And one of the most important tools for understanding this is something called the glycemic index, or GI for short. The glycemic index is a scale that ranks carbohydrates from 0 to 100 based on how quickly they raise blood glucose after eating. Foods with a high GI, like white bread, soda, or instant rice, digest quickly and cause your blood sugar to spike fast. Low GI foods digest more slowly, giving your body time to respond and keeping your glucose more stable. So where do sweet potatoes fit? Unlike many other starchy vegetables, sweet potatoes have a low to moderate glycemic index, depending on the type and how they're cooked. This means they raise your blood sugar more gently, which is especially important as we age and our insulin response slows down. And here's something most people don't know. Not all sweet potatoes are created equal when it comes to GI. Purple and white sweet potatoes tend to have a lower glycemic index than the traditional orange ones. That's because they contain different types of starch and fiber that slow digestion. So if you've ever wondered whether all sweet potatoes affect blood sugar the same way, the answer is no. To put it in perspective, let's compare sweet potatoes to something more familiar. A typical serving of white potato, boiled or mashed, can have a glycemic index as high as 80 or more. That means it enters your bloodstream quickly, and for many people with diabetes, it can lead to a sharp spike. But a similar portion of boiled purple sweet potato, that's often in the range of 50 to 60. A much gentler rise, and one your body is more likely to handle smoothly. The best part? Sweet potatoes still give you that warm, satisfying, comfort food feeling. without putting your glucose on a roller coaster. That's why so many dietitians and diabetes educators recommend sweet potatoes as a smart carb option, especially for older adults who need slow, steady energy throughout the day. So if you've been avoiding sweet potatoes just because they're sweet, it might be time to rethink that. Because when it comes to blood sugar stability, they can actually work in your favor. Coming up next, we'll look at how sweet potatoes support digestion and satiety, two more keys to managing blood sugar with less stress. Benefit 2. High in fiber, great for digestion. Satiety. Let's talk about one of the unsung heroes of healthy aging, fiber. If you're living with type 2 diabetes, or even just working to keep your blood sugar steady, fiber is one of the most powerful tools you can add to your plate. And sweet potatoes? They happen to be an excellent natural source of it, especially when you leave the skin on. So why does fiber matter so much? First, fiber slows down digestion. It helps carbohydrates, including the natural sugars in sweet potatoes, break down more gradually, which means glucose enters your bloodstream more slowly and evenly. This gentle release is key for avoiding spikes and crashes after meals. Second, fiber keeps you full longer. When your meal is rich in fiber, it stays in your stomach longer, helping you feel satisfied and less likely to reach for snacks later. That's especially helpful if you're trying to manage weight, reduce cravings, or avoid mindless eating between meals. And let's not forget about digestion itself. As we age, our digestive system naturally slows down. That can lead to constipation, bloating, and a general feeling of heaviness that nobody wants. But the type of fiber found in sweet potatoes, both soluble and insoluble, helps keep things moving smoothly through the digestive tract. It nourishes your gut bacteria, supports regularity, and can reduce the risk of uncomfortable issues like gas or sluggish digestion. Now, here's a simple trick. Don't peel your sweet potatoes. That soft, edible skin is where much of the fiber lives. Just give it a good scrub, cook it well, and eat the whole thing. It adds texture, nutrients, and helps you get the full benefits of the fiber nature intended. So the next time you're looking for a side dish that's warm, filling, and comforting, a baked sweet potato with the skin on might be exactly what your body is asking for. Coming up, we'll explore one of the most underrated benefits of sweet potatoes, how their natural compounds can help reduce inflammation and protect your nerves as you age. Benefit 3. Fights inflammation and nerve damage. As we get older, especially with diabetes, our bodies face another hidden challenge: chronic, low-grade inflammation. It doesn't always show up as pain or swelling. Sometimes it's more subtle: tiredness, stiffness, tingling in the feet, or changes in circulation. And over time, that inflammation can quietly affect our blood vessels, nerves, and organs, increasing the risk of complications like neuropathy, poor circulation, or even heart disease. But here's where sweet potatoes, particularly the purple varieties, can offer something special. Purple sweet potatoes are rich in natural compounds called anthocyanins and polyphenols. These are plant-based antioxidants, and they're what give purple sweet potatoes their deep, vibrant color. More importantly, these antioxidants are known to have gentle anti-inflammatory effects. They help fight oxidative stress, tiny forms of damage caused by blood sugar fluctuations, toxins, and aging. Think of it like this. Every time your body experiences stress or inflammation, it's like a spark of wear and tear. Over time, those sparks can add up, But antioxidants, like anthocyanins, act like tiny firefighters. They don't stop the aging process, but they can help reduce the damage and keep your systems more resilient. And this matters especially for seniors with diabetes, because nerve damage and circulation problems are two of the most common complications linked to high blood sugar over time. In some animal studies and early clinical trials, anthocyanins have been shown to support better blood flow, improve nerve function, and even help protect the delicate linings of blood vessels. While we're still learning more through research, one thing is clear. Eating a colorful variety of antioxidant-rich foods like purple sweet potatoes is a simple and gentle way to support your health from the inside out. So if you're dealing with tingling hands or feet, or just want to support your circulation as you age, sweet potatoes can be a small but meaningful part of your toolkit. Next, we'll look at the essential vitamins inside sweet potatoes and why they're especially valuable for older adults protecting their vision, immunity, and heart health. Benefit 4. Vitamin Boost for eyes, immunity pressure. Now let's talk about 3 essential nutrients, ones that quietly support your energy, your eyesight, and even your blood pressure. Sweet potatoes are more than just a source of natural carbs and fiber. They're packed with a powerful trio of vitamins and minerals that support whole-body wellness, especially as we age. First up, vitamin A, sweet potatoes, especially the orange-fleshed variety, are one of the richest sources of beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a plant pigment your body converts into vitamin A, which plays a major role in protecting your vision. As we get older, our risk for conditions like dry eyes, night blindness, and even macular degeneration increases. Vitamin A helps nourish the surface of the eye and supports the cells that allow us to see in low light. It's a small nutrient, but it makes a big difference in maintaining independence and quality of life. Next, vitamin C. We often associate it with fighting colds, but its benefits go much deeper. Vitamin C helps support your immune system, especially important if you're living with diabetes, which can make the body more vulnerable to infections and slower healing. It's also involved in collagen production, helping keep your skin, joints, and blood vessels strong and elastic. And then there's potassium, a mineral that's often overlooked, but incredibly important for heart health and blood pressure control. Sweet potatoes are naturally high in potassium, which helps counteract the effects of sodium in the diet. It works to relax blood vessels, reduce tension, and support steady circulation. For older adults, especially those with hypertension or pre-hypertension, potassium-rich foods can be a gentle, natural support for blood pressure balance. When you put it all together, vitamin A for your eyes, vitamin C for your immune system, and potassium for your heart, you get a root vegetable that offers much more than comfort. It offers real, measurable nourishment for the systems that keep you strong and steady as you age. And the best part? All of these nutrients are delivered in a whole food that's warm, filling, and familiar. No supplements, no pills, just simple, everyday food that supports your body on multiple levels. Next, we'll explore one of the most exciting discoveries about sweet potatoes, how a certain variety may actually help improve insulin sensitivity and long-term glucose control. Benefit 5 may improve insulin sensitivity. This last benefit is one that's caught the attention of both scientists and nutritionists, especially those focused on helping older adults manage type 2 diabetes more naturally. It's about a very specific type of sweet potato called kayapo, a white sweet potato traditionally grown in Japan. In several small studies, including research published in respected medical journals, Kayapa sweet potatoes have been linked to improvements in insulin sensitivity and reductions in A1C levels, a key marker of long-term blood sugar control. In one study, participants with type 2 diabetes who consumed Kayapa extract daily saw modest but meaningful improvements in how their bodies responded to insulin. Their fasting glucose levels improved, and over time, so did their A1C. Now, it's important to say this clearly. Sweet potatoes are not a cure for diabetes. And this research focused specifically on white-fleshed Japanese varieties, not the typical orange sweet potatoes we find in most US's supermarkets. But the findings do highlight something important. Whole foods, when chosen and used wisely, can support better blood sugar regulation. They may help your body use insulin more efficiently, especially when combined with other healthy habits like movement, stress management, and smart portion control. So what does this mean for you? It means that sweet potatoes, especially the white or purple types, can be more than just a healthy carb. They may offer therapeutic support for your metabolism over time, and even if you can't find Kayapa sweet potatoes near you, simply rotating in a variety of sweet potatoes, orange, purple, and white, can help you gain a broader range of antioxidants, nutrients, and fiber. That variety alone is a win for long-term wellness. The key is not to expect miracles from one food, but to use it as part of a bigger lifestyle that helps your body thrive. Coming up, we'll talk about how much sweet potato is safe to eat, how often you can enjoy it, and what portion size actually looks like on a real plate. Have you tried sweet potatoes since your diagnosis? How do you prepare them? Comment below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more senior-focused health videos. 6. How much is too much? Now that we've explored all the benefits of sweet potatoes, it's time to talk about something just as important. How much is enough and how much is too much? Because even with healthy foods, portion size matters. For seniors managing blood sugar, the ideal portion of sweet potato is about half to two-thirds of a cup cooked. That's roughly 100 to 150 grams, or about the size of your palm. Visually, think of a portion that takes up about 1/4 of your plate, not half the plate, and certainly not piled high. This amount gives you the fiber, nutrients, and slow-digesting carbs you need without overwhelming your glucose levels. Now here's where many people go wrong. They add sweet potatoes on top of their usual starches, rice, pasta, bread, or tortillas, which can quickly stack up the total carbohydrates in the meal. But the smarter approach? Use sweet potatoes to replace those other starches, not add to them. For example, instead of rice or white potatoes at dinner, try a scoop of mashed or roasted sweet potato. Instead of toast in the morning, try a small portion of baked sweet potato with eggs or avocado. It's all about making one simple swap, not eating both. And what about frequency? Sweet potatoes are nutrient-dense, but they still contain natural starch. So for most older adults with diabetes, it's best to enjoy them 2 to 4 times per week, not every single day. This gives your body time to process the carbs, and it keeps your meals varied and balanced. If you're physically active or working closely with a nutritionist, you may have a bit more flexibility, but for most, a few servings per week is a safe and sustainable sweet spot. So remember, it's not about cutting sweet potatoes out, it's about using them with purpose, in portions that support your blood sugar and energy, not fight against it. Next, we'll talk about the foods that make sweet potatoes even better, and which ones to avoid combining them with. 7. Smart pairings for blood sugar balance. Here's a powerful truth about blood sugar that often gets overlooked. It's not just what you eat, it's what you eat it with that matters just as much. Sweet potatoes on their own can be a helpful, nutrient-rich food, but when paired wisely, they become even more blood sugar friendly. Let's start with what to include on the plate. Pair your sweet potato with a source of lean protein, like a boiled egg, some grilled chicken, or tofu. Protein helps slow digestion, gives your body something steady to work with, and helps prevent that mid-afternoon energy crash. Next, include a little healthy fat. Think a few slices of avocado, a drizzle of olive oil, or a sprinkle of almonds on top. Healthy fats help reduce the glycemic load of your meal, support brain health, and keep you feeling full longer. And don't forget the greens. Adding high-fiber vegetables like spinach, broccoli, or kale not only boosts nutrition, it helps slow down how quickly your body processes the carbs from your sweet potato. Fiber is nature's natural blood sugar stabilizer. Now let's talk about what not to pair with sweet potatoes, because the wrong combinations can undo all those benefits. Avoid adding extra sugars, like honey, syrup, or brown sugar. Even though these toppings might seem traditional, they turn a steady meal into a sugar spike. Skip the white bread, white rice, or sugary drinks in the same meal. Stacking starches on starches overwhelms your system and leads to rapid glucose spikes. And finally, beware of the fryer. Sweet potato fries may sound like a fun option, but once they're deep fried, they lose most of their nutritional value and become a source of unhealthy fats. Baking or steaming is always the better choice. So here's the simple rule to remember. Balance is the secret ingredient. When your sweet potato is surrounded by protein, healthy fat, and fiber-rich vegetables, it becomes part of a blood sugar-friendly meal that fuels you rather than drains you. Coming up next, we'll talk about timing, when to eat sweet potatoes for the best results, and when you might want to wait. 8. When not to eat sweet potatoes. By now, you've seen how sweet potatoes can be a healthy, blood sugar-friendly food, but like any carbohydrate, timing matters. There are certain situations where sweet potatoes may not be the best choice, not because they're bad, but because of how your body might respond depending on the context. Let's walk through a few times you may want to pause before reaching for that roasted sweet potato. First, late at night. Sweet potatoes digest more slowly, and if you're not moving around after eating, that energy has nowhere to go. This can lead to higher overnight blood sugar, especially for seniors who are less active in the evenings. If you do eat sweet potato for dinner, aim to have it earlier in the evening and consider taking a light walk afterward, even just 10 minutes around the house. That simple movement can help your body use the glucose more effectively. Second, on an empty stomach, especially if you're highly sensitive to carbs, eating sweet potatoes first thing in the morning, without any protein or fat, can cause a faster spike. It's always best to pair them with a source of protein and fiber to soften the impact. Third, avoid eating sweet potatoes in the same meal as other heavy carbs, like rice, pasta, bread, or corn. Doubling up on starches stacks the carbohydrate load and can overwhelm your blood sugar balance. Instead, make sweet potato the main starch on your plate and skip the others. But here's the most important thing to remember. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. Food doesn't have to be the enemy. You're simply learning how to work with your body, not against it. So if you love sweet potatoes, you can absolutely keep them in your diet. Just pay attention to when and how you enjoy them. And speaking of enjoying them, let's close things out with a recap and a few final tips to help you take this knowledge and use it confidently in your kitchen. So, after everything we've explored, here's the answer. Yes, sweet potatoes can be a good choice for seniors with diabetes. Not by chance, but by intention. Let's quickly recap how to make them work for you. Keep your portion around 100 to 150 grams. That's about half a cup to 2/3 of a cup cooked. Pair them with protein, healthy fat, and fiber to support steady digestion and blood sugar. Prepare them simply, steamed, roasted, or baked. Avoid frying. And when it comes to timing, midday or early evening is best, especially after some movement or a balanced meal. When you follow these simple steps, sweet potatoes go from a maybe to a mindful yes, because they don't have to be off the table. In fact, when used wisely, sweet potatoes can nourish your body, support your blood sugar, and bring real comfort to your plate. So here's your small challenge for the week. Try swapping out one starch with sweet potato, maybe at lunch, maybe for dinner. And then let us know in the comments. How did you feel? What did you pair it with? If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more real-world health tips designed specifically for older adults, and share it with someone who still fears carbs. They might just need this gentle reminder that food can be both healing and enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.